Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Game 2 of Stationary vs. Rend. I am Steve, and with me I have T to the Weiler Tyler for this great TVT on Desert Oasis.
Now, this is a very interesting map choice by Rend, loser of the first game. Desert Oasis typically going to favor a lot of air and very mobile armies. The rush distance here is incredibly long, and there are a lot of expansions, including the very hard-to-reach island expansions, which, for Terran, actually not that hard to reach at all.
No, and, especially I think that in other matchups, and maybe a Terran vs. Protoss, those island expansions are a lot more beneficial for Terran, given that, they can lift off, they can land there. I don't know that it really is as good in a TVT where medevacs are so easy to get and are such a crucial part of Terran play already that they're going to be out on the field anyway. I think you're better off taking your natural and then maybe one of the golds.
It looks like Rend is actually going for an 8 barracks here. We might be seeing some cheese.
We might get some funky play in here. This is one of those maps where I'm not really a big fan of it because, as you said, those rush distances make it so far apart that if with Stationary's first SCV moving out, he'll see it in plenty of time.
Yes, this is definitely very reckless. If it works, I will be very surprised. This is a very interesting choice, honestly. Maybe he's just hoping to whittle him down enough so that he'll end up winning a macro battle at the end. But I can't imagine that he thinks this is going to be the automatic GG, which Cheese so often hopes that it will be.
Well, I think that a lot of those lower level players, they think that Cheese is so much stronger than it really is. Once you get to those higher levels, unless you are perfect at executing it, it often backfires. And if you have a cheese strategy that messes up, that can almost be a certain defeat for you. Stationary has that SCV in there, but I'm not sure that he's really going to know that there's anything funky going on, because the supply depot and the barracks are there, and it could appear to be normal timing for him.
Definitely. The only thing I would really think is that Marine is out pretty early. Perhaps that would be a cheese, but I think more likely it is that Stationary just thinks that maybe he was a little slow on the build.
And it looks like Rend has a bunker going down at the top of the ramp of Stationary's base. This is a really sort of standard contained. Stationary's not going to be able to push out. And, I got to wonder why he's not worried that he hasn't seen a scouting SCV come in yet.
Looks like we have a factory going up for Stationary, while there is a tech lab going up for Rend. It doesn't look like Rend is building much in the way of production right now. With 2 production buildings in Stationary and 1 for Rend, that might just make the difference in and of itself.
And it looks like Stationary went to chase that SCV out, realized it never moved down the ramp, and went to look for something. He found that bunker. Now, is he going to get that bunker before the Marine gets in there? The Marine is almost there. If Stationary target fires it, he might get it in time, but it doesn't look like it. Stationary is going to have to pull back now.
And even 1 Marine in that bunker is going to be completely and totally unstoppable for a good portion of this game.
Stationary's got his starport going down right now, so, I'm sure he's going to be looking to get some medevacs out now, especially now he did get that second Marine from getting in there, and the SCV's dead, so that bunker now isn't going to have that SCV there to repair it.
I gotta wonder exactly why that Marine was outside of the bunker anyway. Perhaps just some bad micro from Rend there.
It's definitely possible. He's also, Stationary's got another Hellion coming out. He really seems to like those Hellions, using them in Game 1 and Game 2. And, they're a really good unit against these Marine or early Marine pushes from Terran.
I would have to disagree, only just because that Hellion is so expensive, but it can definitely make the difference if there are not many Marines there, because at that point, if you just micro the Hellion a little bit, then it can get a whole lot of those Marines in the line of fire before dying. But at some point there, the Terran just reaches a critical mass where those Hellion just fall apart, because they really are made of paper.
That's very true. Unfortunately, it looks like Stationary got himself a little supply blocked. He's stuck at 27, although with this medevac coming out, we might see a drop coming really quickly. And, with the way this map is laid out, it's really easy to sort of swing around it, land right behind the middle line, and then run away without taking any damage to your units.
Definitely, and because this center area is completely in no man's land. No one ever goes in the center. That center Zelnaga watchtower only ever is really manned by the scout specifically for that watchtower in the first place.
And there goes the sweep from stationary to make sure that it's safe to land there. The drop is in. He's getting some kills. One SCV goes down. 2 SCVs, a mule, and it looks like he's going to have to pull back with these Reapers and these Marauders coming in, but some damage was done, and stationary didn't lose anything. That was a pretty good drop, it looks like.
Textbook drop, indeed. And at this point, Rend has to be wondering exactly what that bunker was for anyway.
He's got another drop ship loaded up. It looks like he might be going for another drop, possibly on the supply line, although with those Marauders right there as well, it might just be safer to hold back now and sort of start macroing up a little bit.
Possibly, but, you know, it looks like stationary has quite a few forces, especially with those medevacs backing him up.
You know, he is unfortunately letting his minerals pile up a little bit higher than he should, and that's, you know, that's a sort of a common thing you see in people that don't play a lot. Once they get into those battles, it's really easy to lose sight of the more important aspects of the game, like your macro, and making sure that when that first army falls, if it falls, you have something still alive to defend you with.
But it doesn't look like it's going to matter. I just do not think that Rend has the forces to push this back.
Now, you know, these 2 medevacs are making a huge difference. Stationary hasn't really lost anything at all. And there's the GG, and stationary is going to take this one 2-0.
An excellent series of games from our 2 favorite pro-level Terran players, Rend and Stationary. Perhaps we'll see them play again in the finals of the league, perhaps not. We'll have to see. Thank you very much, Honor and Arms.